She texted me at 2:14 a.m. Not a good morning, not a miss you, just 12 words that tasted like a blade pressed against my ribs. I'm done with monogamy. I need variety. You stay loyal. I stared at the message, watching the typing dots vanish as quickly as they appeared. Like she wanted to say more, but didn't have the courage to commit it to text. The hotel lamp beside our bed wasn't even warm. She'd left for her work trip 16 hours earlier. I replayed her last hug, her rushed smile, the way she avoided eye contact when I said, "Call me when you land." She never did. My hand didn't shake. My breathing barely changed. It was strange how quiet the world became. I typed only 2 words, "Suit yourself." Then I locked the phone, placed it face down, and listened to the silence settle around me like dust. Somewhere inside that silence, something in me cracked, but it didn't break. It sharpened. Her reality had 40 minutes left. I didn't move for a long moment. I just sat there, replaying every scene I'd ignored, misread, excused. The late nights, the unexplained laughter, the way she suddenly cared about her appearance only on the days she worked late. There was no confrontation, no raised voice, nothing that would betray the storm forming quietly behind my calm exterior. But my mind was already constructing timelines, cross-checking inconsistencies, letting old suspicions rise from graves I buried them in. I didn't want to believe she meant it, that she could reduce our vows to a sentence, dropped in the middle of the night, like loose change tossed onto a counter. But betrayal rarely begins with a confession. It begins with a subtle shift, a breath held too long, a lie told too smoothly. And she had been shifting for months. My throat tightened, not with sadness, but clarity. The kind you don't want, but can no longer avoid. So I opened the vault. The cloud backups she didn't know synced to my email. The call logs she thought she deleted. The location she forgot she shared. Her trip wasn't a trip. It was a rendezvous. Room 409. 2 checked-in guests. 1 reservation. A single king bed. The kind of details that don't scream. They whisper. And whispers are deadlier. Still, I said nothing. Nothing to her. Nothing to myself. Silence is where truth grows. By the 20th minute, I had everything I needed. Her texts to him. His replies. Their plans. Their fantasies. Their arrogance. Every message was a brick added to the wall she was building. Between us, she just never expected me to be the one standing on the other side. I kept scrolling. I found the part where she wrote, "He'll never leave me. He's too loyal. That's why it works." My jaw didn't clench. My pulse didn't spike. If anything, I grew calmer. People mistake calmness for peace. Sometimes it's simply the moment the heart detaches. While she was in a hotel bed with someone else, convinced she had the upper hand, I was sitting in the half-lit quiet of our bedroom, dismantling the last illusion she had about me. At minute 33, I gathered the receipts, screenshots, logs, timestamps. At minute 36, I contacted the one person she never suspected I stayed close to after the breakup. The one person who knew him better than anyone, his ex-wife. She replied instantly, "Send everything. I've been waiting." We didn't speak about pain. We spoke about logistics. Revenge, when done right, is administrative. At minute 40, she delivered the final piece I needed. A recording of him bragging about breaking boundaries. With my wife while still playing family man. I didn't celebrate. There was nothing to celebrate. Just truth. Cold. Heavy. Undeniable. At minute 41, my wife called. Her voice was shaky, breathless, like someone who ran too far, too fast. "Why did you say that?" She whispered. "What do you mean, suit yourself? Are you angry? Should I be?" I replied, silence. Then the quick inhale of a guilty person cornered by nothing but their own conscience. "I didn't mean it like that," she said. "It was a joke. I'm tired. I was drinking. Can we just talk when I come home?" I didn't answer her question. Instead, I sent the file, screenshots, hotel proof, her messages to him, his messages to her, and finally the recording of his voice. I could hear the moment she opened them. Her breath stopped. A soft whimper escaped her. Then panic. What What is this? Why would you? How did you? I thought you needed variety, I said calmly. She broke. Right there, on the call. In that hotel room with the man scrambling to get dressed in the background. I wasn't angry. Anger would have meant I still cared enough to burn. All I felt was release. She kept begging, her voice cracking under the weight of her own exposed lies. She asked for forgiveness. She asked for another chance. She asked when I found out. I didn't answer any of that. I simply said, the truth always arrives. Sometimes early, sometimes right on time. Then I hung up. I blocked her. I emailed the evidence to the divorce lawyer I'd contacted 30 minutes earlier. I packed a small bag, and I walked out of the house. She thought she owned my loyalty inside. The night air felt colder than usual, cleaner somehow. People say heartbreak destroys you. They're wrong. Betrayal doesn't destroy. It awakens. And once awakened, you don't grieve what tried to break you. You step over it. Quietly. Finally. And without looking back.